Hi guys, it's Rob from Royal Balls. Clutch number 3, my Cypress clutch has pipped and we're going to cut the eggs on this video. The reason it's taken so long is that only one of the snakes has actually come out of the egg. The rest are still in there, so I can't see what the rest of the snakes are, and you'll see in a moment why that is important, because during the research for this video I came upon a little twist. The father is an Enchi Cypress Ivory possible blackhead, and because he's ivory it means all the babies are going to have yellow belly. So I was only concerned with trying to identify the other genes, but during my research I came across on Morph Market the fact that Blackhead and Cypress are in the same complex, which means that they are allelic. So if there is Blackhead and Cypress in this Enchi Cypress Ivory possible blackhead, it means that the babies must all receive a copy of Cypress or Blackhead, and we cannot make a Cypress Blackhead combination. It has to be one or the other, not both. The interesting thing is, when I plugged it into the genetic calculator on Morph Market, the genetic calculator does not have an allelic answer. It has a non-allelic combination with Cypress and Blackhead together being possible from a Cypress Blackhead. If they're allelic, that can't be correct. So either they're not in the same complex or genetic calculator is not correct. And it makes it even more difficult for me to identify what's in these snakes. I didn't want to hold the video up, so Morph Market lists Spot Nose, Wookie and Chocolate in the same group of genes as Spider and Champagne, which automatically means that Cypress jumps in there as well. And I have seen a couple of videos where people have claimed that Spider and Cypress is allelic. When you have a Cypress Spider, the offspring are all Spider or Cypress. We also know that Spider is allelic with Blackhead. So if Blackhead is allelic with Cypress, then automatically all the other genes become allelic with Cypress as well. I'm not sure that that's correct, but we're going to find out. So here is the male that we used for this clutch. He's an ivory, so a white snake, but he is also supposed to be Enchi, Cypress and possible Blackhead, and all of that is hidden from view behind this white snake. The plan is to get Cypress into our clowns, and this first clutch, this guy was paired to a normal female in order to back out the genes that he contains. It makes it easier to see what's in there and decide what he actually is. And let's hope we do get some Cypress babies, because he's already been paired up to a visual clown female to make hets. So if we don't see Cypress in this clutch, that will be a bit of a waste. So we've taken a bit of a gamble before actually seeing what he has hidden. We've taken it as red. This is a Justin Kabelka snake from 2019, and this is his first season of actually successfully producing a clutch for us. He didn't breed last year. So let's take a look at the clutch. Ivory, Enchi Cypress possible Blackhead. Okay, so here's the clutch card. This is an ivory Enchi Cypress possible Blackhead male to a normal female, and we had 8 good eggs. This is day 60 for this clutch, and the first pipper was yesterday, and I noticed that we have a couple of pippers now, so it's time to open these up and see what we got. So 3 out of the 8 eggs have already pipped. You can see this one, and this one, and obviously the others are all ready to come out, so let's cut them. So let's start here with the ones that have already pipped. Let me zoom you in a little bit so you can see. And the minimum that we can get is yellow belly, So let's just open these up a little bit. Okay, so the first one is yellow belly. Here's the second egg, and it went into the incubator with a little bit of newspaper stuck to it, and that has made absolutely no difference to the egg at all. So let's just cut this one and see what we got. This one is Enchi yellow belly. I can't see the head. Let's take the third one that's pipped. That's another Enchi yellow belly, and again I can't see the head, so I don't know what we're dealing with here. Let's take this next egg, egg number 4. Make a little snip there. Okay, that one looks a little unusual. I'm not sure what we've got there. Yellow belly. Another yellow belly, not sure there. Still a little bit of the yolk here. You can see that there. So that one might take a little while to come out. Next egg. And that's another yellow belly. Okay, I'm not seeing any blackhead in this. Ooh, there's a nice bright yellow belly. Is that the cypress? Not sure. And the last egg, this has a little window in it here, so I can already see the pattern of the snake. And there's another yellow belly. Alright guys, so this one's quite hard to actually ID while they're all still in the eggs. I'm not sure how Cypress is going to express itself, but we'll see when they come out. But I can see yellow belly and yellow belly Enchi. No blackhead, unfortunately. So let's bob these back in the incubator and wait for them to come out. I'll get back to you once they're out of the egg and we can get a better look. Only one snake is out of the egg. And I wanted to show that it is still possible, given the theoretical possible combinations from the pairing, that it is still possible to identify the genes in the snake. If they're allelic, it means we might need to rethink. So until the other snakes come out of the egg and I can see what we have and don't have in the other combinations, I think the snake that we have is both Blackhead and Cypress. If it turns out that the rest of the clutch does not support that and we have only Blackhead or only Cypress in the rest of the snakes, or even if it turns out there is no Blackhead in the clutch, I'm going to have to rethink the identification of this first snake. So that's one of the dangers of trying to identify snakes when you can't see all their siblings. So we'll go ahead, I don't want to hold the video up, we'll have a look at the first snake that's out of the egg. It is a great looking snake. I'm just not 100% certain of what it actually is. I think I know, but if it's allelic, I'm not right, and we need to rethink. Alright guys, at this point in time we only have one of the babies out of the egg, but we're going to attempt an ID here, and I'm going to go through the process given that we don't have any of the other siblings to compare it with side by side, and obviously that's a huge handicap. It's nice to be able to see the progression of genes in a snake when you can compare them all side by side, and we will be doing that to double confirm. This is actually a more difficult process to do, but I'm going to illustrate that it is actually still possible to do it given that you only have one baby snake to work with. This is the egg that it came out of, and for all of you that are really meticulous about how you clean your eggs, look at all the newspaper stuck to the bottom of that egg. That's been in the incubator for 60 days in 100% humidity and has made absolutely no difference to this egg at all. So let's have a look at this baby, and we're obviously going to start with the parents. The female was a normal, so no genes at all on her side, and I picked that pairing specifically for that purpose, so the female wasn't going to confuse the outcome. The male is an Ivory, Enchi, Cypress, possible Blackhead. Because he's Ivory, we know that everything has to be yellow belly. Everything in this clutch is going to have yellow belly. The only thing we need to be concerned about is identifying Enchi, Cypress and Blackhead. Blackhead was only a possibility, that wasn't guaranteed in the label, but Enchi and Cypress certainly was. Cypress is very difficult to identify on its own. It can be a very understated gene and doesn't have a huge impact on the look of the baby. What I'd be looking for in Cypress is a little bit of extra brightening, a bright head stamp and narrow eye stripes. So given that this baby is yellow belly, let me zoom you right into him here so that we can get a good look. I will hold him up in a minute. And if you remember from my last clutch, the leopard freeways, we got some straight yellow bellies. So let's have a look at a straight yellow belly in comparison to this guy. Let me put this one down in front of him here, and you can see that there is a huge difference. There's a huge difference in the pattern. There's a huge difference in the blackness of the snake. What we know that yellow belly does, if we just open up this yellow belly doesn't influence the head stamp very much. The eye stripes are quite normal. We get a quite bright dorsal, and we get all these flames up the side here, but tending to be down towards the belly rather than up at the top of the snake. If we have a look at this guy, you can see that the pattern is completely different. We have the flames down here from the yellow belly, but you can see it's quite strongly orange, and the alien heads are very, very regular. So we have yellow belly in here. Here's the bright dorsal stripe, but there are some hooks and stuff on it. So we've got something else in here apart from just yellow belly. The head stamp, guys, See the difference in the head stamp? This is the yellow belly with the dark head stamp. This guy here has a completely different head stamp. Much lighter coloured. Much lighter coloured on the head stamp. And if we have a look at the eye stripes, you can see that the eye stripes are characteristically narrow. This looks to me like Cypress. So we have yellow belly Cypress, but my goodness me, isn't it dark? What a dark colour this snake has, and very regular alien heads. And just look at the oranges on the side of the snake here. Sorry, it's focusing in on the snake underneath. Just look at the oranges on the side here. So I'm pretty certain that this is Cypress. So we have yellow belly Cypress, but we had the possibility of Blackhead, and this is really dark. This snake is really dark and has a very regular pattern. So let me pull out a Blackhead. Let's put this yellow belly away. Okay, that's served its purpose, and we can tell that these snakes are very different. Alright guys, I'm gonna have to zoom out here. Let's move this to one side. Put this snake down on the table and zoom out. So here we have a pastel blackhead, and you can see the very regular alien heads and how dark the pattern is here. This is pastel, so it's quite blushed. Let's take our baby snake and have a look at the pattern on the side of this guy compared to the blackhead underneath. So the pattern here is giving me an indication that this is also blackhead. I am seeing yellow belly, Cypress, blackhead in this. The only other possibility that we could have in this snake is Enchi. So thank you very much, pastel blackhead. So let me just bring out an Enchi and show you what Enchi does. Again, this is a multi-gene animal, but it's banded. This is actually a super Enchi, and Enchi gives these tiger stripes. It also gives a very characteristic head stamp. If I can get this guy just to show us his head. It has a cloverleaf pattern on the head and widening eye stripes at the back here, and it tends to want to join up. You see how the eye stripes have joined up at the back of the head? That's what Enchi does. If we look at this guy here, there is absolutely no banding, there is no cloverleaf on the head stamp, and the eye stripes are very narrow. So no Enchi in this one. Enchi was a possibility in the mix, and when we see the rest of the babies in the clutch, we will see what Enchi does in this combination, but for now we're just saying there's no Enchi in this one. So let's just zoom in again, guys. Of all the genes that could have been in this, yellow belly, Enchi, Cypress and blackhead, blackhead only being a possibility, the only gene I do not see in here is the striping that Enchi would cause. So I am saying, even without comparing this baby to any of the others, just look at those oranges down the side, and this is pre-shed, guys. This guy has not shed yet. Just look at that orangey colour there. So if I can just get him to show us his head stamp again. He's doing what ball pythons do. So there we go, guys. There is the Cypress eye stripe and Cypress head stamp. We have the blacks and fantastic regular pattern of a blackhead, and of course we know it's yellow belly, and we do see the typical yellow belly flames up the side here, but overridden by the other genes that are in here. So as a standalone, first pass. I didn't want to hold this video up for you guys. This is the first baby snake out of the egg, and there are 7 more, so plenty to go at, and I will be doing my usual IDs. Look at that orange blushing on the back here. That's just awesome. So I am saying right off the bat that this is yellow belly, Cypress, Blackhead. So the male has proved out to be everything. Now, it's pointless speculating when you have a snake that there's something extra in there. It looks a little bit funny. If you can explain it based upon the theoretical outcomes of the pairing, there is no need to invoke anything weird. I'm not invoking anything weird in this snake. I'm confirming the presence of Blackhead, and it is yellow belly Cypress. So everything we thought there should be, apart from Enchi in this particular individual, is there. No need to invoke something weird. If you do think that you have something that is unconfirmed in the snake, the only way you're going to be able to prove it is by breeding and proving it out. Unless and until it's proved out by breeding and you can explain the pairing based upon the theoretical outcomes of the pairing itself, i.e. what we know was in the parents, there is no need to invoke anything unusual. So there we go, guys. This is the first snake out of that clutch. I didn't want to hold up the video, and I think we've confirmed everything we need to know about that male. So I was concerned because he is already being paired with a visual clown to make the hets. I think we're in business. Awesome. Alright guys, so there you go. You tell me, jump in the comments below, is Blackhead and Cypress allelic, and is this snake not both? It can only be one or the other if they're allelic. It has to be either Cypress or Blackhead. Which do you think it is? Is the father actually Blackhead? We're going to have to wait and see for the rest of the clutch to come out, which makes it even more interesting. So we're not going to solve that little twist until we see the rest of the clutch. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time to sort this out.